Greetings, everybody. It's your man Air Jordan 14 back. Another episode of SneakerShopTalk, the semi-weekly vlog or webisodes or whatever you want to call them, where I basically discuss issues that are going on in the sneaker world, or the things that you want to hear me give my take on, and then I just kind of go from there. And go ahead and jump right in, because I got a few things that are going on right now. There's a lot of rumors out there about Dwyane Wade going to Lebrons. A lot of speculation, whatever you want to call it. And I don't know, my take on it is this. I personally don't think that's probably the move to make, although I can understand why. Apparently there's some unhappiness on D. Wade's part about the sales performance of his particular signature line, and from what I'm hearing, certain other Jordan brand athletes, wearing the Jordan 2012. Let me just say this. One, sometimes sales, this may sound weird, it's kind of strange in a way, but sometimes sales numbers don't necessarily tell whether a shoe is great. I know a lot of people have killed both the Flyweight 1 and 2. From my standpoint, my personal look on shoes has personally shifted a little bit. I now look at them once again as, can they do their intended purpose? And then if they happen to look good, all the better. So, from a performance standpoint, they're awesome. And even Jordan Brand's non-retro basketball products have been great. I know that, that's kind of, when you think of Jordan Brand, that's kind of what a lot of people think of, because that's what moves the sneaker meter, so to speak. But shoes, like I said, the Flyweights, the M8s, the CP 3.5s, the Pure J's, the Icons, I can keep going. All of these shoes have been outstanding on-court performers, and people such as myself and Nightwing 2303, just to name a couple, have done detailed performance reviews on a lot of these shoes and came away more than impressed. And I think, it's kind of that they've almost, people pigeonholed them into, just a company that, if it's not an Air Jordan retro product, that, people don't even want to deal with them. But I even like the Flyweight 2, particularly the EV model, from an aesthetic standpoint. But in some ways you're kind of a victim of their own success, because those models, are iconic and classic in sneaker history. That really, people really get excited about those. And I think personally, get so focused on that and sneaker pigeonhole that they're missing out on some other great shoes that are not retros from Jordan Brand. So I said all that to say that I think that while leaning, from what I've seen, I haven't personally had a chance to play in any of their products yet, but I understand they perform well. And I can understand from a competitive standpoint or a selfish standpoint, wanting to be on a brand and be that guy. But with that being said, despite all their problems, Jordan Brand was still a $500 million brand last year. And from everything that I've seen, that number's going to grow. Granted, were there some mistakes on both sides? Yes. No relationship is perfect, but I think that's probably the best place for him in terms of getting the overall best performance product. And still, I think even being kind of out there as far as what's going on, being visible, and having a brand that speaks to people really, in the United States where most of the people are likely watching your game. But, if leading backs the truck up, to Miami, who knows? But I would think, hopefully, and that's just my selfish sneaker standpoint, but hopefully smarter, cooler heads will prevail, and maybe we'll be able to see the Flyweight 3. I would like to see it because I was really excited coming off what I liked about the 2. The next topic, and it's been all over the place. It's been talked about even in business publications. If you listen to the last episode of OSD, I believe it was episode 237. Talked about it on there. You name the sneaker website or blog, they've been talking about it, and that's the LeBron 10, which actually comes in 2 standard versions and $180 standard, or I guess regular version. Wow, how things have changed. A regular shoe is $180. But in a Nike Plus equipped version, which initially was said to be retailing at over $300 at $310 to be exact, and a lot of people outside of the sneaker world were up in arms about it, and I mean, honestly, at some level I can understand $300 for a shoe is a lot of money. It is. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that. I know it's got the technological capabilities and all of these types of things. But honestly, I wasn't too upset because I'm at an age now where, if I want something, I'll try to get it. If I think it's overly priced, then I don't get it, or I'll, wait till it goes on sale, or try to figure out another way to get it, perhaps below retail. But I wasn't like, oh my God, what is Nike doing? When people buy shoes early, that they're never even gonna play ball in and spend $300, $400, $500, $600. No one says anything. Well, some people do, but no one has a problem with that. That's not making the Wall Street Journal and Business Week and some of these other publications. So, I mean, if you think it's too much, don't buy it. If enough people think that way, and they sit on the shelves, well, then that sends a message that maybe Nike should lower their prices. But you and I both know that those shoes will likely sell out. So everyone who's complaining, the vast majority of them wasn't going to buy the shoe in the first place. And with some of these other overpriced items, people don't say anything. There's cars out there that cost what a house costs. People don't complain about that. If you don't have the money, you don't buy it. If you have the money and you buy it, go from there. Me personally, as far as the LeBron 10, I will probably have a pair of each because, you got to give you all the performance lowdown on the shoe, so I will probably have it. At the very least, the standard version. Because I'm actually very curious about these from a performance standpoint. Aesthetically, I'm kind of lukewarm on them, but this max volume Zoom bag, full length, I'm very interested to see how that's going to work and how that's going to perform and respond. But like anything else, if you don't have the money, then hey, it's a moot point because you're not going to buy it anyway. And if you don't have the money and you're buying it, then there's some other issues that you need to work on, namely getting your priorities in order. But that's pretty much what this is going to wrap up this episode of Sneaker Shop Talk. But I'd love to hear, your thoughts on the LeBron 10, on the possible I don't want to call it defection, but moving on of Dwyane Wade from Jordan Brand to Lee Ning, and other issues out there in the sneaker world that you want to discuss or want to see discussed here on upcoming episodes of Sneaker Shop Talk. Feel free to be up in the inbox. You can hit me here or on Twitter. It's at Full Size Run, and I'll have all those links down there in the description box of this video. So this is your man Air Jordan 14 signing off with another episode of Sneaker Shop Talk. Wishing everyone peace and power.